Hello everyone! Hello everyone, calm down now. Uncle John is here. And I must say, this room looks like the spare shed of my 6th chateau. So I am scrolling through Truth Social, sipping gold-plated whiskey when what do I see? Trump is at a NATO summit bragging his airstrikes on Iran were like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Says he ended the war with Israel, just like those atomic bombs ended World War II. Then the National Aeronautics and Space Administration dropped satellite photos showing his bombs hit a hill 3 kilometers from Iran's nuclear fortress. 3 kilometers? That is not a victory, that is like me aiming for a yacht in Monaco but sinking a fishing boat and calling it a masterpiece. Let us get this straight. Trump orders 7 B-2 bombers to drop 14 massive 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs called GBU-57 on Fordo, plus 30 Tomahawk missiles on Natanz and Isfahan. Calls it Operation Midnight Hammer and says it obliterated Iran's nuclear program. But the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the space nerd, says, hold up, your explosions were 3 kilometers off target, just a scorched hill. Like when I try to buy a tech company but accidentally bid on a falafel stand and call it a tech revolution. Iran says, no big deal, we moved our uranium anyway. No radiation leaks, no problem. You have to understand, I do not care if Trump hit or missed. I have stocks in American bomb makers and Persian Gulf oil wells. War or peace, I am cashing in. But this is too funny. Trump stands next to NATO boss Mark Rutte, says this was like Hiroshima ending the war. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign ministry says, thanks for the free landscaping. Historians are screaming you cannot compare bunker busters to atomic bombs that killed 150,000 people. Brent crude oil hits $80 a barrel because of this mess, making my private jet cost a few million more to fuel. I am fine. I can buy an oil field. But you, good luck filling your car at $10 a gallon. Let us keep going and see how this Hiroshima boast blows up in Trump's face. You have to understand, folks, this Iran strike is not about nukes. It is about Trump wanting to look like a war hero on Truth Social. He says, we drop a full payload on Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan. Total obliteration. Like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Then the National Aeronautics and Space Administration plays party pooper with satellite images showing his bombs hit a hill 3 kilometers from Fordo. 3 kilometers? That is like me trying to sink a rival's yacht but blowing up a sandbar and claiming I redrew the coastline. Look at the hypocrisy. Trump says, we ended the war, just like 1945 Japan. But Iran says our nuclear sites are fine. We moved 880 pounds of uranium before you even fuel the jets. That guy Hassan Abedini goes on television, says no major damage, no radiation leaks. Like when I hire a demolition crew to flatten a competitor's warehouse, but they blow up a cow pasture and I still pay the bill. Experts like Mark Kimmett, a former United States official, say you cannot destroy Fordo. It is 90 meters under a mountain with tunnels like my Swiss bank vaults. Trump says obliterated, but maybe he just obliterated some goats. And the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, oh boy, they are the real MVPs. They were not even trying to embarrass Trump, just doing their job, tracking wildfires or whatever. But their photos are like a public slap across Trump's face. I imagine him calling their director, yelling, why are your satellites ruining my victory parade? They probably say, we just report the data, sir. Like my accountant telling me, I cannot deduct my 8 yacht as a business expense. Trump doubles down, says the intelligence reports are fake news calls, CNN and the New York Times scum. The truth is, the world is laughing, but you know who pays? You regular folks with gas prices soaring and markets shaking? Me. I bought more oil stocks when everyone panicked. Let us see how this flop gets funnier when Trump tries to spin it. So what happens when the National Aeronautics and Space Administration calls out Trump's Hiroshima fantasy? Chaos. That is what Trump's storms. Truth Social says our strikes were perfect, Fordo is gone. Iran says Fordo is fine. Just a few scratches. Then there is this twist. A leaked United States intelligence report says the strikes only set Iran's nuclear program back a few months, not decades, like Trump claimed. Like when I tried to bankrupt a rival by buying his company, but only then his summer home and he is back in business by fall. The reactions are pure comedy. Trump says the intelligence is fake, calls leakers professional stabbers. His defense guy Pete Hegseth says the bombs landed exactly where we wanted. Really, Pete? 3 kilometers off is precision. That is like me aiming for a golf hole but landing in a bunker and saying, I meant to redesign the course. Israel mumbles, maybe we slow Iran down a bit. Iran laughs, says thanks for the free publicity. Our nuclear program is stronger than ever. Even NATO boss Mark Rutte calls Trump daddy for his tough talk but probably regrets it when the National Aeronautics and Space Administration photos hit. Meanwhile, 200 Iranians died, mostly civilians, and Iran threatens to ditch the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. The ugly truth. Trump wanted to be the hero who ended a war but ended up a punchline. He compares bunker busters to Hiroshima, which killed 70,000 in one day. Historians like Laura Jenkins say that is not just wrong, it is offensive. Japan, a NATO ally, is not happy. Oil prices spike to $80 a barrel, supply chains choke and 180 countries get caught in this mess. I am fine, I have oil, futures and weapon stocks to cash in. But you, good luck when your grocery bill looks like my private island's landscaping budget. Let us wrap this up with my billion-dollar lesson. Alright, let us sum it up. Trump bombs Iran's nuclear sites. Says it is like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, claims he ended the Israel-Iran war. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration says, hold up your bombs, hit a hill 3 kilometers from Fordo. Iran says, no damage, we are fine. Trump yells fake news, calls everyone scum. Intelligence leaks say Iran is only delayed a few months. Oil prices saw markets crash, and I am sitting here counting cash from energy and defense stocks. That is the script, folks. Here is what I learned. Politicians are overpriced clowns. Trump says he is a war-ending genius, but maybe he just blew up some rocks. Iran says their nuclear program is untouchable, but they moved their uranium before the jets took off, so who cares? The National Aeronautics and Space Administration just doing their job humiliates Trump. Proving facts ruin a good story. It is all a show, and you know who pays for the ticket. You regular folks with gas and food bills climbing faster than my bank balance. Me, I am chilling on my private jet watching the drama and laughing. The deeper truth. Nobody cares about you. Trump wants to look like a tough guy. Iran wants to save face. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration just wants data. They yell about peace or security, but it is all about power. Power to control nukes oil market. That is why I have my own airline, Freedom Air. No bombs, no politics, just open skies and top shelf champagne. You should try it if you can afford it. Looking back, this is not new. Wars, bows, flops. It is like the Bay of Pigs in 1961, but with satellites and tweets. And the future? Trump will keep posting, Iran will rebuild, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration will keep snapping photos. I will still be rich. The lesson here, leverage, folks. You do not need to hit the target, you just need to own the game. That is why I am rich, and that is why I am out. God bless this mess, and good luck to the rest of you.